Hey you guys, it's Monica and welcome back. So today is going to be another edition of Craft and Tale. So if you are new here, that is where I make something in the background and tell you a crazy, ridiculous story that happened to me. So all stories told in this series are true. They happened. And yeah. And so I don't really give any instruction on what's going on in the background, but I will tell you in this one, I am making a rainbow iPad case. Yeah. So let's do this. And so this edition of Craft and Tale, and sorry if I sound a little stuffy, y'all. Oh my goodness, y'all, my husband gave me COVID. That's why there was no videos last week. I couldn't talk. So I don't know. I'm somewhere between like delaying giving him his first baby and divorce. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think if y'all's spouse gave y'all COVID 3 years into a pandemic. Y'all let me know. But anyways, let's get it popping. And everything all the rhinestones used in this video are from PeriodSixDesigns.com. So come on our website, check us out. The moving sale is still going on. We are moving next month, so 40% off all the old glitter jars. So check us out, PeriodSixDesigns.com. And finally, been over a minute. Let's get to the story. And so when the pandemic started, I was like, okay, I have really been wanting to learn Spanish. Like, now is the time. I'm home. I'm not outside. I'm not in the streets. Let's do this. And so I was like, what's the best way to go about learning Spanish? And so I went on YouTube and I'm like, let me find some people who are not native Spanish speakers, because like we've all used like Duolingo and like Dora the Explorer and stuff like that. Let me find some people who are not native Spanish speakers who now fluently speak Spanish, and I'm going to follow the method that they used in order to learn Spanish. And so the central theme across all of those people's videos that I watch is that the best way to become fluent in Spanish is that you have to converse with Spanish speaking people. And so I'm like, my Spanish not that good, but like, I know, a little bit like, hola, como esta, mi amo Monica. Like, I can get there, you know what I mean? Like, they be like, who you with? Mi esposa, like, de donde el baño. Like, I can, I know survival sentences. But, like, I can't sit there and tell you, like, how my day was in detail. Like, bien. That's about all you're going to get from me. And so I'm like, okay, like, how are people finding people to speak Spanish with over the internet? And so I found a website, and I cannot remember the name of it at this point. But I found a website, and pretty much you pay people by the hour for them to tutor you. It's like a tutoring website. Like, you can, like, get, like, math and English and all those kind of tutors. But they also have people who are Spanish-speaking people that, you can just pay them to talk to them. And, like, I know that sounds weird, but, like, especially since I live in Colorado, that I can't find nobody to talk Spanish to. But, again, this was during COVID, so it is what it is. And so I found one girl, and, oh, my goodness, that first one was a nightmare, too. She gets on the phone, and I'm like, I explained to her before we even met up, like, I am a true novice. Like, I can count to 20 kind of thing. Like, I know very basic, trying to get through customs in a Spanish-speaking country's airport Spanish. But other than that, like, I'm not good at Spanish. She gets on the phone, y'all, and she just starts speaking so fast and, like, not helping me. And I'm like, no comprende. Like, I don't know what you're saying to me. And so then in the middle of the lesson, y'all, why this lady pulled out a bag of chips and started eating them? I said, oh, hell no. No, not doing it. Not okay with this. She won't work. And so back to the drawing board. And, like, I already started feeling like, oh, this is going to be terrible. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, this is how people say it's the best way to learn Spanish, but I don't know if this is going to work. And so I found someone else. She had really good reviews. People said, like, she's very helpful. Like, she's great for novices and beginners and all that. And I was like, okay, cool, perfect. So I get on the phone with her, and, like, she's amazing. Like, she, like, gives me worksheets. She sends me websites. She's explaining Spanish grammar to me, which I've never really been good at, like, Spanish grammar, like, to, instead, like, all those, like, when to use a, when something is a, when something is an o, what makes something feminine, what makes something masculine. And she was explaining all that to me. And, like, the first lesson, I was like, okay, this is going to be my tutor. Like, we have a connection. Cool. And, like, I remember she mentioned in the first lesson, she had asked me, like, where do you live? Because, like, and she was asking me these questions, but she was also teaching me Spanish, like, where do you live? And she was teaching me, like, how to ask that and say that in Spanish and stuff like that. And so she was like, I was like, oh, I live in Colorado. And so she was like, oh, my boyfriend is from Colorado. I said, oh, that's interesting. Like, what part? And like, she said, oh, I can't really remember, but yeah, he told me he's from Colorado, but I met him down here. And I was like, and she lives in Peru. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. Like, that's cool. And so everything's good. I'm like, okay, I would like to meet with you, you know, twice a week. You know, I'll work on like the things I need to work on a few days a week outside of our conversations. And then I would love to come on camera and practice with you. She was like, okay, perfect. Like, that works cool. I was like, okay, great. And so, cause you know, I was willing to put the money in to learn Spanish or whatever, right? Cool. So the next time we're supposed to meet up, like say my first lesson was on a Thursday. So the next time we're supposed to meet up is going to be Tuesday. So I'm thinking like Tuesday, Thursday kind of thing. And so I should also mention that in the first lesson, I noticed that she was pregnant. And, you know, we had talked about it. Like, she didn't mention her due date. I didn't, you know, I stay out of women's uteruses. I don't get too deep into it because I don't want nobody in mind. But, you know, I just told her, like, congratulations. Like, that's awesome. That's amazing. And I'll see you on Tuesday, girl. And so, boom, Tuesday rolls around and she never gets on Skype. We just do Skype lessons. And so, you know, I wait on Skype for like 10 minutes. You know, I do like the professor thing. 10 minutes, you got a master's. 15 minutes, you got PhD. And so after 10 minutes, she doesn't show up. And so I sent her a little message like, you know, hey, not sure if you forgot, but we did have a lesson today at 6. You know, and like the website, like you can like rate them and stuff on the website, and like you miss your lessons, like you get your money back kind of thing. But I didn't want to do that because I know these people live in countries that are not America. Take that for what you want it to mean. And I didn't want her to lose this money or her be penalized if it's like just like a simple mistake or something like that. So I'm like, hey, you know, just like work with me, like work directly with me. We don't have to do anything through the website. And let's just set up a redo time. And she doesn't respond to me for like days. I'm like, is this lady dead? Like, that'd be my first thing. Like, oh my goodness, I hope nothing like happened to her. Like, cause we live in wild times. And so finally 2 days later, she messaged me back. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I just had like a lot going on. I gave birth to my baby. Yeah, but I can meet you on Thursday. And I tell her, I'm like, like, I'll see you in, 6 to 8 weeks because I don't like, I like you, like I feel like we had like a good connection, like you being my tutor, but like, girl, I'll see you at the next one. She's like, no, like I promise, like it's fine, like I work from home, like I promise you, like it's okay. And like I was skeptical then, and I'm like, again, I don't want her to lose this money, especially since she had a baby, like, but I'm also not pressed on losing the money. Like, it doesn't even matter to me at this point, but like I would like the lesson, and that might have been kind of selfish for me. But she was like, no, it's okay. Like, I promise you it's okay. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's get on the phone. So, like, Friday. And she was like, yeah, like, I had my, like, so we get on the phone. She doesn't come on video, y'all. This is where it starts to get good. I promise you. Like, I had to do all this leading up to it. So, she doesn't get on. She logs into Skype, but she don't get on video. And I'm like, like, congratulations. Like, this. She was like, yeah, thank you. Like, I had my baby, like, on Monday. And I'm like, girl, what? She was like, yeah, I had my baby Monday. And I'm like, you had boy or girl? She's like, I had a little girl. She tells me the little girl's name. I said, that's awesome. Like, that's amazing. Like, I'm so happy for you. Like, like, I'll wait for you to, like, get off maternity leave so we can do this. She was like, no, it's fine. Like, this is how, like, I make my money. Like, this is how I plan on supporting my baby. So I really do need to, like, keep doing these lessons. I'm like, if, I'm like, and I told her straight, I'm like, you can keep the money from this lesson today, and like I'll just set something up with you in a few weeks, like just so you can like rest and recover. Like it's not that deep. Like, and remind y'all, like it's like $20 an hour. Like it's legitimately not expensive, but $20 an hour to someone who lives in a third world country, and I don't know if Peru is third world country, and if it's not, I'm sorry, but she told me like her family were farmers, so I'm like, that's probably like a lot of money for her. Like she can just keep it. And so she was like, me and her are just talking. We're not even doing the lesson at this point. We're literally just like two women on the phone talking about another woman who has just given birth, which is fine by me. Next, again, remind y'all, she's not on camera this time. Y'all, this lady busts out crying, like boo-hoo, bawling. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is wrong? I'm like, are you okay? Like, she just crying, and she can't get her words out, crying. And she's like, no. She was like, I just had this baby like 3 days ago. And like this man, talking about the baby's dad from Colorado, this man is threatening to take her from me. So like I can't leave the house. I'm stuck here and I don't know what to do. Y'all, I was like, wait, what? And so she's bawling. I said, pull it together. I said, stop crying for me. Cause now I'm in fucking emergency mode. I'm like, stop crying. I'm like, what is going on? She was like, he started acting crazy. He was like, she told me the whole story. She was like, I go into labor and he's acting crazy. So I tell him I don't want him at the hospital. So my family tells him, you know, like you can't come to the hospital when she's having his baby because like you tripping off her. Like, y'all, he told me he was beating her, all this other wild stuff. I said, oh, that's crazy because I wish a motherfucker flocking from his country going to put hands on me. Like, you can't put hands on me in the country, okay? And so she's like, you know, he was like beating me, like it was coming too stressful. Like, so I told my mom and like my family, like, made sure he didn't come to the hospital. And I was like, okay, that's good. Like, cause you deserve to give birth in peace. Okay. And so then she's like, but after my second day in the hospital, like we had to do the paperwork. So like, I text him like, can you come up here and do the paperwork? For your baby. And she was like, so he come up there and he's showing out, talking about, I'm taking this baby with me, like you'll never see this baby again, like this my baby, I'm not letting you keep this baby, you ain't got no job. I'm like, boo, you do tutoring, you do have a job. What? She was like, you know, telling me like I don't have no job and I ain't got no means to support this baby, so he gonna take this baby and I'll never see my baby again. I was like, rewind for me. I said, explain to me how you know this man again. She was like, I met him, like I was working like at my family's like fruit stand like in the city, and I met him and like he told me like he had some problems with the government. I said, ooh. I said, wait a minute, what? She was like, yeah, she told me he had like problems with the government back in America, and so like he's just trying to stay down here and hide out. I said, mama, I said, you use that to your advantage. I said, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how snitching works. let me show you how to get a bitch back. I said, you tell him that whatever he's fleeing from in America, that you will go down to the feds at the embassy or find out a way. And I don't know what the extradition laws is like, but to let them know exactly where he is. I said, because one thing about America, the minute you step on this soil, baby, they're going to handcuff you. They don't care if you've been gone for 20 years. You're going to show up in court and answer for your crimes. I said, so whatever he did, sis, I said, he can't come back to America for a reason. That statute of limitation, especially if some federal charges ain't running out. I said, so don't let that get to you. I said, don't let that man get to you. And I said, he can't take your baby. I said, you in your home country with your people. I said, if nothing else, y'all need to fight him. And so, and like, she stopped crying at this point. But I'm like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, I'm trying to give her like real legal advice. Like, I'm Elise Keating. Like, you can't. I said, no. I said, he can't come back to America for a reason. I said, he's not a good man if he's fleeing from the thing. She was like, you know, she was telling me how, you know, she thought he was a good man and she had hoped like, you know, they'd be able to come to America with her baby and stuff. And I said, I don't know if that makes your baby an American citizen since it was, even though it was born to American citizen, but still born in Florida. So I don't think it worked like that. But I said, he still can't take your baby from you in your home country. Like, that's one thing he cannot do. And so I said, you need to, like, you and your family, she was like, and, you know, now I'm home and, you know, I'm with my baby and, like, we're trying to stop him from coming, but he threatening my family. I said, sis, he can't threaten all of y'all. I said, I don't know who this man is. I said, but you need to get right. I said, he can't threaten all of y'all. I said, he can't take your baby. He can't threaten you. And so, like, me and her are just going back and forth. And, like, I'm trying to calm her down, y'all. And, like, I'm just like, this is not what I just wanted to learn Spanish. I just wanted to learn how to go to the many, many Spanish-speaking countries in the world and blend in. And so, you know, then she starts like apologizing to me, and she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, at this point, we're already been on the phone like 30 minutes. She was like, she starts apologizing to me, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just, you know, she's like, I have things to buy for my baby, and I don't want to give him like no reason. And like, you know, he's saying like, he's like, all of a sudden, like the line go dead. I'm like, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? And she's like, oh, sorry. Like, my mom just came in the room because apparently, like, he had just called her on her phone and, like, he's still threatening her. And I'm like, sis, if y'all don't fight this man, like, I don't understand what the issue is. But, like, I got violent tendencies. So, like, you can't call me and say, like, somebody trying to run up on you and it's not going to fix it to be like a brawl. And so I'm like, listen, he's not a good man. He's fleeing from something that he probably shouldn't have done. Don't even sweat him. I said, you take your baby, you watch your baby, and you keep your good eyes on your baby. Don't let nobody touch your baby unless you know for sure that you ain't got to worry about them going to this man. And I said it again, another reminder, he can't take your baby from you in your home country, because where he going to go? And then but then it starts getting better, a little better. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to, make a story of somebody's downfall, but she started telling me like he on drugs, he drink too much. Again, he put his hands on her. I said, and again, I just hate this because like she was literally telling me she was just hoping because getting with an American man, she would have a chance at like a better quality of life. And I'm just like, girl, it's trash over here. Like, we be on our own soil and these men is trash. Like, girl, don't be letting the Statue of Liberty make y'all think it's all love and happiness over here. Girl, have you seen our news? Tragic. So yeah, and then she's just like, please still let me be like your tutor, because like I really need the money. And like I be trying to, I gotta get back out here and help my family on the farm, and like, but we do need the money. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. In the moment, I was telling her, okay, like don't worry, like I got you, like you ain't gotta worry, like I would love for you to still be my tutor. Like you seem like a really nice mother, and like congratulations. And like she's finally, I feel like I got her to a point where she was like okay at that moment. And then her mom her mom comes on the phone, and like her mom's like talking to me, and her mom seems like a really nice person. And I was just telling her like congratulations on being a grandma, and the mom was telling me how many other grandkids she had, and like I asked like like the names of the grandkids and stuff. And so I felt like the girl was like in a good place. Like her mom had showed up, she was calm, I had gotten her calm, her baby was calm because her baby was in the background. The baby was calm, her mom was there. I felt like good at that point about me being like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you later. And so when I hung with the phone, I was like, can I continue lessons with this lady? I said, absolutely the fuck not. Baby, I can't do drama issues or situations. And like, she was really nice. I just need to see if she's okay. I hope she's okay. Now that I'm thinking about it. But like, I got my own issues that I'm working through, sis. Like, best of luck on yours. You can keep that little money I gave you for the lessons that I had already pre-booked. Keep it. I won't be showing up. And to this day, I do not know Spanish, because this one experience was enough for me to be like, you know what? I'm going to just go back to reading books and mispronouncing stuff how I think it's pronounced. And I live in Colorado. Like, I can literally step outside and find someone who speaks fluent Spanish. Like, I'm tripping on, because you don't want to, like, it's embarrassing when you try to communicate with somebody and you struggling. Like, because, Americans, we swear everybody speak English and we can take our English everywhere we go, knowing dang well we can't. We got to stop that kind of attitude. And so, yeah, that is the time I had tried to learn to speak Spanish. And I think I ended up, being a witness to international crimes. I don't know. I was very uncomfortable. I told everybody in my family because I could not believe it that all this had happened. I don't know why that lady didn't tell me she was days from giving birth. Just so many things. So many things. But yeah, so if anyone knows a good way to actually learn Spanish and become fluent in Spanish in a couple of years, let me know. I'm willing to put in the time, effort, and money. But yeah, that's how I tried to learn Spanish. And so back to the iPad. This is my current iPad case. I flipped it up. I was like, oh, I got some notifications. And so I'm just going to pop my iPad out. I got this iPad in September. So whatever, I think it's 9th generation. It's a regular $300 iPad. I ain't spending all that money on like the iPad Pro and stuff. I don't do that much stuff on it. So just went ahead and popped that in the case. Pop out my Apple Pencil. I don't like the Apple Pencil holder on this case, side note. And now I'm just going to make sure that everything, and so you'll see that I purposely didn't put rhinestones in those, little columns. And that's because that's where like the case, y'all got iPad cases where it flips and like fits in there when you need to prop it up and stuff. So I purposely just left the rhinestones off that part. And I just want to make sure like it still works and it stands up and all that kind of good stuff. And it does. It works just fine. I'm still using it to this day. So yeah, that's it. If you like these kind of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at PeriodSixDesigns. Check out our website, PeriodSixDesigns.com. If you like craft and tell, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you like it. And I will see you guys in the next one.